Salary, a paycheck does not guarantee security. The earlier we understand this, the better decisions we make. Welcome to Living Without Borders with Emanuela Obi. This is the second episode of Living Your Life Without Borders. In the first episode, I talked a little bit about this channel. So if you missed that first episode, the link is right in the description of this video. So, like I told us in our first episode, I gave a little talk about myself, how I went to, during my days in, not university, remember, in my country, by the way, I'm from Africa, Nigeria particularly. You go to the law school for you go to law, you study law for 5 years. Yes, you study law for 5 years, and when you graduate from law and you do well, then you progress to law school, where you attend it for 1 year in order for you to be called into the Nigerian bar and be qualified to practice as a lawyer. So back then, like I told us, I was pregnant. I was about 6 months pregnant with my first daughter, my beautiful angel, when I went to law school. So throughout my duration in law school, I was a pregnant mother. Just 2 weeks before the end of first semester, I started feeling uncomfortable. My EDD was closed, so I had to travel back home, about 6 hours journey on the road. And that same night, when I got home, I went into labor and I was taken to the hospital by my husband. And for 3 days, I was in labor. It wasn't an easy thing because the child still had some days about 2 weeks before the EDD. But because of all the stress of academic stress, it stressed the baby that I had to go into unprepared labor. And I went into labor for 3 good days. You can imagine what that is. Eventually, it ended up with a cesarean operation after 3 days when I couldn't take the pains anymore. This is one of the price I paid as a result of trying to be educated. Education is the key to success, as we were told, so that I'll come out to be successful. In that story, I also narrated how after everything, I'm supposed to serve my country for 1 year. Then I did my best, because one of my mantra is this: anything short of the best is not good enough. Be your best in all that you do. So I gave it my best. While I was serving my country, like I told us, I became pregnant with my second baby. I call them angels. I have 5 angels. So with my second angel, and while throughout in the place, irrespective of the fact that I was a pregnant mother, I didn't use that as an excuse to be lazy. Every task that was given to me, I made sure I carried out my task very well. And by the end of that 1 year service to my country, my then head of department recommended me to be retained by the state, as I would be a great asset to the state. But because I wasn't an indigene of that state, even though I was a citizen of that country, that recommendation never saw the light of day. That was my first disappointment with systems. So I came out and then started, attached myself to a chamber. And while I was still there in that ministry, right there, I still had my second baby. And my baby was nicknamed, by the way, senior counsel, senior state counsel. So I go to work after my 3 months mandatory leave, I returned back to work with my 3-month-old baby. With my 3-month-old baby, I gave that job my all, my heart, my soul. Excuse me. Hoping that I will be given an employment, because usually they retain their best. But unfortunately, system came into play. And then I had to fix myself in a private chamber, worked for a while. That was my first disappointment. Still, I didn't give up on myself. Then I developed interest in maritime academy, in maritimes, and decided to go into the Maritimes Academy to do a postgraduate diploma so I can be employed in one of the maritime sectors. That's my second missionary journey in my quest for success, quest for freedom, quest for security. Then I had to travel on top of the sea for almost an hour every day to go for my lectures in the Maritimes Academy. If I'm to go by the road, it's going to be like 3 to 4 hours journey. But on the sea is about 45 minutes to about 1 hour, depending on how fast the speedboat is. Mind you, this was an open speedboat with no cover. The water is splashing on you as you go. And again, I was pregnant with my fourth child, my fourth angel this time around. So I traveled with pregnancy on the sea for a whole year to get a certificate in shipping and transport management, to gain an employment in maritime sector. After my 1 year, we graduated, had our graduation ceremony, and again, I was given an award for the best graduating female, even as a pregnant woman. And on the day of our passing out parade, the announcement was made by the Minister for Transportation. I don't want to mention his name, but that name, even till I get to my grave, will always remain in my head. And said he was all the people that with the best graduating females and male will be given an automatic employment in any maritime sector, in his word. We celebrated, we were happy. I was like, oh, finally. Remember my mantra I told us in my episode 1, that anything short of the best is not good enough. Therefore, be your best in all that you do. Then I put to bed while waiting for the employment later. And I waited, had my 3 months compulsory leave. And after my 3 months, I didn't hear anything from them. I kept on checking my mails, no phone calls. So I took a decision to travel again with my 3 months baby for the second time, to go to the state capital where the Minister of Transportation was. in search of my employment later or in search of the file. When I got there, after I traveled a whole day, that journey was about almost between 8 to 10 hours journey on the road. Not just the road, terrible road with so many bumps and potholes. I went to the ministry, met them, told them my case, and they started searching for the case file and searched and searched and searched. I spent almost the whole day. Eventually, the file was seen, covered with dust. My name and the names of other people. You see, the maritime sector is being dominated by a particular tribe in my country. So once you are not from that tribe, it's very difficult to get an employment in the maritime sector. This thing I'm telling you is nothing but a true life story. And that was why I did all that I can for my name to be in the list of the best students so that I can be given an automatic employment, because it's their rule, is the one, if the company is the school policy that all their best students are given automatic employment. So I knew of the rules and I consciously worked towards it. So they said, okay, we've seen your file, we'll get back to you. Expect to hear from us. This was in 2012. I had my fourth angel in 2012. And it's been over 14 years since that promise. Probably they are still attending to the file, right? Funny enough. But let's be serious. Again, education is the key to success. Like I said, you come out with the key to success only to discover that the padlock has been thrown into the lagoon. I still went ahead. The story is, this is the second disappointment in trying to be successful in life. And I'm going to tell us the third disappointment. Okay, no, I will leave the third disappointment, still by system, still by government. I'll leave it for my third episode. I'm going to tell that story in my third episode. But then, 3 years ago, I moved into the States and I got employed. I got a paid job, and I've been working for the past 2 years. Then, right there in my workplace, I happen to be a very sociable person, so I socialize with a whole lot of people. Most of my friends are elderly people. And I have a particular friend. He is a retiree, about 70-something years. And one day I called him by his name and I'm like, why do you work so hard? You are retired. And he's like, Ella, you won't understand. I said, please make me understand. He said, if I don't work like this, I'm going to be homeless. I said, okay. I said, why? How about your Social Security? He laughed. He let out a bitter laugh. And he was like, that is a story for another day. This man does not just work normal shift. He will pick up so many extra shifts in a week that I feel so sorry for him. This is a man that is supposed to be resting at 70 something. This is a man that have worked for more than 30 to 40 years of his life contributing to the system and should be able to live comfortably. At that age of his life, he should be taking vacation, going to see his grandchildren, moving from places, doing something of fun that makes him happy. But no, because like I will always tell us, that our salary is no security. Real security is clarity. Real security is knowing who you are, knowing what you can do, knowing you have options, knowing that you are not at the beck and call of someone else, knowing that you cannot be limited. No, I'm not asking you to quit your job. This is about discovering your passion, what you have passion for, what you love to do, and gradually, intentionally building it while you are working. I am working and I am building my business as well. And that is the same thing I am telling you. You will build your business to the level that what you earn from your business is like more than 10 times what you're earning from your employment. At that time, you can graciously quit your job. But for heaven's sake, do not work for the rest of your life depending on paycheck, hoping to come out and get Social Security. I repeat, Social Security isn't. If what you are doing right now, the paid employment, whether as a salary earner or as a weekly, day, hourly pay, if it ends to tomorrow, what else do you have? What else do you have? If what I've been saying so far challenges you, then stick with me. We will keep unpacking these ideas. Then we will begin to look into your passion, your experiences in life, and see how we can create a business together from your passion. Subscribe and share this message. This is a movement to deliver people from the bondage of paycheck.